Okay guys, so I recently made a video and I don't know if you're gonna see that one first or later, using the Anna Griffin birthday card kit, card making kit, and in that video I was going to make like a fun fold card, and then I realized you can't really do that real well with the card insert, the cards, blanks, right, that are in the kit, so I was like, okay, I'll do it some other time. And I think that's what I'll do today. And I haven't made a Freeform Friday. Well, I have. It's just I haven't been calling them Freeform Friday. But we're going to basically make a card that's like this. It's a 5x7 when it opens up, but it folds like this, okay? So it's different, interesting, fun. We'll see. I'm going to use the Woodland Story Birthday Surprise from HUNKYDORY'S, so I will have them linked in the description box, and that those would be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. Having said that, when I had linked it before to CraftStash, CraftStash has some interesting pictures, because there's Woodland Story Birthday Surprise like this one, right? And there's also Woodland Story, which came out earlier than the Birthday Surprise. This is a newer release. And so the pictures are showing on CraftStash sometimes have the pictures of this, but then they have the paper pad from this, but the paper pad from this is not what you get in the bundle. It's a tag pad, and it says tag pad, but they show a picture of the Woodland Story paper pad. Okay, so not to confuse anyone, but you can read this. I had mentioned before, I was like, I don't know why they showed a picture of something else, but that makes sense now. I think they use the same images because they're very similar, but everything else is different. Like the parchment paper is different. It's supposed to be like the balloon one, and the picture they show at CraftStash is like the one from Woodland Story. So if you order that bundle, just know the images are not the same or not correct, should I say. But anyway, and then of course you can pick up things separately and you'll know exactly what you're getting. But this is the little cover sheet that was on this guy. I already used some of it, or at least showed it, that's why it's open. But what we are going to do is a card like that one. So let me see. There's 2 of each card base in this one. So some kits come with 1 of each card base, some come with 2. So as you can see, the little baby. I mean, a lot of these would still work. Like this would work for that kind of card because this guy's going to be intact right here. Again, he's just kind of funky. My daughter, she saw these papers. Oh, and she's like, this. Oh, let me show you the cutest one. And for her, the cutest one was, let me see if it's on here so I can show you right quick. Well, it was the baby bunny, and then I was like, what about her? And she's like, this one, with a little tummy, so cute. And she's like, oh, she is the cutest one. So I thought, oh, it's this little guy. That was her favorite, is cutest. So she liked him. And then she just agreed mine was cute, but she liked the little guy. Is it a hamster? I don't know. So cute. Anyway, you can do this with any cards, though, obviously. You know, we have this sheet that's all confetti, which would be really great, too. But I think, since it's still like a 5x7, and we're still opening it in this direction, I think we can use literally any of these. But where's the one I wanted to use? I saw on the... Oh, that one's good. This one would be good too, but we are going to trim it down in a way that that first piece is going to be really trimmed away. I was thinking maybe this one, but we do have to trim it down to 7 inches, so something's going to be missing once we do that part, you know what I'm saying? Because this is 8 1/4. If I trim off the top, there'll be barely a little bit of balloons. If I take some off the bottom, we don't want to do that. Let me see. Let me think about which paper would lend itself best for this, and I'll be right back. Because I didn't want to cut off too much of the balloons or too much of the bottom, and if I take the bottom off, let's just pretend a little bit of the presents will be showing and all the balloons. It's just, that's okay. So we'll use this one. And then we'll come in with some kind of topper, obviously, to finish off our card. I don't know which ones yet, but there we go. Now, of course, with this paper, since it is precious, we're going to be very careful with it. But the first thing I want to do is go ahead and I'm just going to take this, lop the whole top part off. We can use that later as a strip for something else, maybe a different type of card, right? So, yeah, I'm just going to come in here and we'll keep all this intact and take off that whole top part. So 7 inches. Okay, 7 inches tall. And if you guys are watching this video, I don't know if it's still on sale, but the tonic trimmer I had mentioned in another video is $7.99 on Tonic's site. I was like, what? Because I love this. It wasn't super expensive to begin with. I think it's $20 is what they want, but like that is an amazing sale on that. So I will have that linked. And then by 10, of course. And this is A4 size paper. So A4 size paper is almost 12 inches long, but it's only 8 1/4 wide. So we have this little strip we can use later. Maybe we can use this on something else, you know. I do not throw those away. Okay, so there are some things, you guys. So, funny enough, if you already have a card base that's already folded, you know, scored for you, just ignore it for this part where I didn't fold it. But you are still going to fold it at the halfway, right, at 5 inches here. So, or score it. What I think I'm going to do, and I think that explains it best, is we're going to start with the cut lines first. And so if I have it turned this way, 1.5 inches in on either side, we're going to cut. And we're going to cut from 1.25 inches in all the way down to 7.5. Okay, now however you want that to work out, that's up to you. This part is going to be the front of your card, the left side. So either way, when we fold it, that's going to be the front of your card. So right now what I'm going to do is, so 1.5 inches in on this side. This is 7 inches tall. That means we have to line this up at 5.5 inches, 5.5, basically. And do not push this down until you get to where you need to be. So where you need to be at 7.5. So here, 7.5, I'm lining it up. This little part of my trimmer, the little pokies, at 7.5. And we're going to go all the way up to leaving 1.25 inch at the top. I know it seems weird, but 1.25 inch. So I'm going to cut all the way to 1.25. And once we get there, it starts getting a little difficult to see, but right there, the little lines are here. So 1.25. Okay. And 1.5 inches on this side. Okay. So we just made that cut line. And I was going to turn it this way, but you know what? It's easy enough just to line it up to 1.5. So this has grid lines on it, so as you're going all the way down here, you can still see your grid line and make sure you're lined up on that. So 1.5, you're already at 1.25, right, from where we were, and we're going to bring it down again to 7.5. So just cut down to 7.5. Okay? And pretty much everything else we're going to do now are score lines. So let's just get rid of this, move our cut line here away. And you can do this on a scoreboard. The reason I don't is because sometimes it's hard to see where you're going, especially if you're starting in the middle here. Let's say you lined it up at the top, and now I'm like, okay, is that here? And you know, it's just easier to use, for me, a trimmer. So I'm lining this up at 1.25, which is lined up with the cut lines. And just take a scoring tool, and I'm going to score from cut line to cut line, which is right there. And this is adorable scoreable paper, so it's nice and thick. So I just want to show you that. Okay, so there's a score line from the cut to the cut. 1.25 inches in, and both those guys. Then the next score line is at 2.5. So 1.25 is half of 2.5, and half of 5 is that. So that's why we're doing half of the 5 inches. And then for this little section, it has to be half of the 2.5, right? So that's why those numbers are what they are. So now at 2.5, we're going to go from the top all the way down, which is nice. So we're just going to move this over to 2.5. And this one, again, is from the top all the way down. Be careful when you get to the cut line. You don't want to drag. Okay. So the whole thing. Then the next thing we're going to do is the 5-inch marks, which is here and here, 5 inches, just like, because you're going to fold your card, just a 5-inch card. So at 5 inches, and again, this is all handmade, hand done, so it can be a little bit off when you get there at the end. We're only going from the top to the cut line and from the bottom to the cut line. Okay. Because that middle section does not need to be folded in that area. Now our next score is at 6.25 inches right here. Okay, so we're gonna move this down to 6.25. This is the one that I was struggling with because I'm like, is this 6.25 or should it be 7? You know, anyway. And this one, all we're gonna do is score this middle section between cut lines again. So you're kind of repeating what happened here. So just between the cut lines, and that's about here. Again, I try not to score too far in. Now the last one is at the very end of the cut lines, which happens to be 7.5. So we're going to line this up to 7.5 and finish our little scoring. Oopsie. My 7.5 is a little bit more like over here. Okay. Alright, so let's take another quick look and we'll talk about it. So if you have your card 7 by 10, this is the left side is the front of your card. You're going to make a cut line 1.5 inches in from 1.25 inches all the way down to 7.5 inches. Also 1.5 inches from the top, you're going to make a cut line again 1.25 inches all the way to 7.5 inches. Then you're going to score in between the cut lines at 1.25, right, from the top 1.25. You're going to score completely this whole 2.5 at 2.5 inches. At 5 inches, you're only going to score this, the top and the bottom, or left and right, however you want to look at that, at 5 inches. Then a score in between the cut lines at 6.25 inches, and another one at 7.5 inches, and that is it. So, however you want to start folding this. So as you're pushing, it's already wanting to do stuff. So like this is supposed to go back. This middle section, let's start at the beginning. It's supposed to go back a little bit. And while you do that, this other one comes forward, the next one. But while you're pushing that, this guy's already wanting to do what he's supposed to do, which is to come up. Okay, so up. Both of these things come up. This one gets pushed back. And while you're doing that, your card should also go back at the normal 5-inch mark, right? So hopefully you can kind of see what we're doing already as we're getting there. And when we get over here, this is going to get pushed up and up. Okay, so it gets pushed towards the right. Okay, and I'm not going to give a good squeeze until we actually get there. So let's put that down. I'm going to let you look at this. I mean, look how cute it is already, just because the paper is amazing. You have it there. Okay. Again, back, right? So I guess those are called mountain folds because it's coming up towards you. Mountain, mountain, valley. It's a V. And then as you get here, just at the 5-inch mark, just like if you were closing your card in half, it's going back, right? Valley. And then mountain here, valley here. And so when we put this down and we're just kind of zhuzhing everything, I'm not going to score until I really get here. And I can even put it on here if I really want to true it up, but it's not the biggest deal. So, I mean, look at that, guys. Even for being handmade, that's pretty darn good. So again, I'm holding it all so it's nice and even. And this is where, when you're scoring, that's when you're really making it really nice and good to go. So like this little middle portion. Look how nice and squared up that is. Not bad, huh? 5 by 7. And just that. There you go. So that's it. The reason that stuck together is because when I scored, I pushed it in there and it pushed that behind there. But that's it. So now all we're going to do is decorate with whatever it is that we want to decorate with. So let's see. He just got a pile of gifts. Oh my gosh, so cute. Okay, so let me bring my topper pieces back and I'll dig through this and see which ones I want to use. You know, I love that little girl with her little belly, but I don't know if she's gonna fit there. Anything that fits in here and even behind here a little bit will work. So I'm just gonna look and see what we have for that. That would be cute. There's 2 of each of the toppers. This is left over actually from another kit. I don't know why I have that here. Yeah, this goes somewhere else. I had to open both of these kits and then I started mixing them up. Okay. Oh my gosh. Look at him. Oh my goodness, you guys. Okay, let me keep looking. I'll be right back for this little guy. And I can always just pop it out and see what's up. You know, if he's in here. But I would like him to have a little gold. Trying to see if he fits within this or not. Maybe not. Okay. Alright, let me see what else is in here that I would like to try out. You know, with our little topper bits and everything, I'm just going to pop it out, guys. So whatever I use, it'll just be notched out. I'll be right back. Like this happy birthday. We have a big birthday surprise. Like I said, I wanted to see if this would work for me. So I'm going to take the gold ring part, just to add a little something else. Do this very carefully. Actually, maybe even the balloons would work. It just depends because, again, obviously our aperture is so big. So, I mean, we can put him wherever, to be honest. But let's say he was there. And this extra ring is there. That's very cute. Or does that fit too? That's interesting. Because it still closes, right? Because that's the whole thing. This area, even though there's a cut in, this can just lay flat on it. It doesn't hurt anything. How How far over can I move that and still be a little more safe? That's interesting. I didn't think about that, guys. You know what? Maybe we'll go with that. Even though it's like gangly and, you know, out there, why not? Okay, so let's do that. Oh, another hunky-dory thing to do is to put some parchment behind that. I'll be right back, you guys. So we have this parchment stuff. And even though I like the way that look of that, that looks really cool. I like the way it's just loose. I think that'd be really fun, right? Just out there. Why not? But to make it just a little bit sturdier, since we're on that very edge, is that maybe we can put some of this on this stuff. Oh, the green one. I mean, it seems very boyish, right? This one. Look, it's so sweet. But hold on. Let's see what else we got. We have the balloon one. Little pink confetti. What? This one's all gifts, which is interesting because we have all the gifts behind there. Let's see what that might look like. It's a little busy, and you can barely tell that they're gifts, but I mean, why not? Okay. I do like the green though, and maybe even the balloons. It's all balloons on that one, look. Okay, let's do this one. And so all I'm gonna do is cut this down just real quick just to get a piece. And I need it to go up and down because obviously there's a direction on the gifts there. And I'm gonna cut it out first. You can do this with some acetate. Obviously everyone's gonna be a little different depending on what you have, right? What you're trying to do. I should sit down. Did I mention we got a new mattress and I thought I don't know what I was doing. I'm moving around by myself. And then my husband, he helped me out later, but well, my son helped me a little bit too, but it was just I don't know. And now my back is kind of paying for it. My lower back. Alright, I'm only putting a little bit of glue because I'm just going to glue this down. And as I cut it, I kind of want to get around there. Now, if you have an oval die, of course, you can cut that out with an oval die. And now we can cut it really neatly right on the edges, especially because if the back of the card's going to show it all, you want that pretty neat. So I'm going to go around this whole thing very carefully. What I was going to say is usually I dig in behind it, but you are going to see the back of it, so I usually just dig in behind it and just make sure it's trimmed. But I want it to look nice and neat on the back, so I am going to take a moment to actually make it nice and neat as I trim around. I'm just really close, and I'm kind of divoting. I don't know if you can see. I'm just a little bit behind the frame, so I don't hurt the frame. Does that make sense? My scissors are just kind of back in there. Okay, so I'll just finish this off, and I'll be right back. There goes that, and I have a little pit there. And then this guy, I think we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. You guys, I just have like a creative flow with this hunky-dory stuff. Oh, the other thing I do want to follow up, remember that tent card I made with the built-in like gift box? And I want to do something, maybe an A2 size, but also in like a slim line. I think it'd be really fun. We will see. Hopefully that'll work out for us. Okay. And this little guy, oh my goodness. Put him right in the center there. And then we have these little guys for later. So with this closed up, he can be still, oopsie, like right in here. So it can be tucked all the way in if you don't want it to go outside the lines of the card, but you can also put it right to the edge, and when it pulls open, it's just there, right? So I think that's what I'll do. So for right now, I'm going to put glue where I think it's going to hit, which is like in this area. And just to make sure it's holding on. And I'm going to close it just so I can see what I'm doing. A little bit higher up. Oh my goodness. Okay, now let me look at it this way and make sure it's straight. That's pretty good right there. Okay, I'm going to hold this down just for a little bit. And in the meantime, I think that one will be stuck down straight, and then this guy probably needs some dimensionals, so I'll put dimensionals on this one. Hey guys, how cute is this? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's close that back up again and just put happy birthday. And I only put dimensionals obviously on this right side. And then it opens up. We can just glue this down again. You can dimensionalize that too if you would like. And I'm just going to put that there. Oh my gosh. And I'm happy with it just the way it is. Of course, you can add your little sparkles, your little rhinestones, pearls, whatever it is. But how fun is that? Look at that. I am just like, this is so cute. And so even when I opened it up, to be honest, I wasn't planning on, you know, when I open it right now, like it stops right there, but that's basically as far as you probably would have it anyway. And if you set it up, you're going to have it standing like this. So I guess that's something you can pay attention to, but basically you kind of did, because when I left it flat and I pushed it as far in as I can, you're already kind of accounting for that. So that just worked out perfectly. Oh, cute. Look at all that. Oh my gosh, you guys. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I hope that was a fun Freeform Friday for you guys. And I'll have links in the description box. Again, I'll link definitely that Tonic trimmer there on Tonic's site. And I will see you guys at the next one. Bye now.